Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. And today we'll be talking about the 1998 comedy, The Big Lebowski, written and directed by the Coen Brothers, starring Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Julianne Moore, Steve Buscemi, David Huddleston, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Tara Reid, and John Turturro. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and alongside me is the cousin Benny. How you doing?
Doing good. Just got the piss out of my rug, so feeling good today.
Nice.
Does that rug tie the room together?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe.
It's a beautiful rug. And alongside the cousin myself is another one of our co-hosts, our good friend Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Robbie?
Doing good. Hopefully I'm not getting sick, but I'm doing good.
Oh shit. Me too. Well, yeah, like Robbie said, hopefully he's not getting sick because that would have upset me. But B, this is Let the Boys Watch, where we pick a couple movies, let the viewers vote on it. If you're not doing that, please do so. Follow us on Instagram, Let the Boys Watch Pod. We pick a couple movies, let you guys vote, and then we watch it. And typically, they are movies that one or maybe all three of us haven't seen before. This week, like Robbie said, it's The Big Lebowski, one of my favorite movies. And I think both of you haven't seen it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Nice. Before we get to that, I mentioned the Instagram handle already, but please follow us there. Send us an email. Let us know what we missed, what we, I don't know, hit on, or anything else you want to share about the movie we just talked about, any of the movies we've watched. If you want to check those out, it's all in the podcast list. It's on YouTube, and you can find all those things on Instagram as well. But send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. I guess let's just get into it. Quick congratulations again to our September sweeps winner. What was her name again?
Meow Kitty Purr on Instagram.
There you go. So congratulations to her. Look out for, I don't know, maybe something else in the future. But I want to get your guys like initial, not reactions, but like what'd you think going into this movie? It's definitely a cult classic, and I feel like I've heard a lot of people that watch it for the first time are like, I don't get it. Why do people like this? But then on subsequent viewings, they kind of get it. They realize the, you know, detective-esque, noir-esque comedy, whatever. But I'm very curious what you guys thought like going into this. Robbie, you want to start?
Sure. I didn't really know what the movie was about going into it. I know, you know, not seeing it at first, I, saw a few Coen Brothers films and I did like them. Obviously, No Country for Old Men. I really enjoyed that movie. Haven't seen that in a bit either, but going to this, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything, the background of it didn't, spoil like I love to spoil everything. So I just went into it with an open mind, even though my disdain for Jeff Bridges, I didn't want to that to play a factor. But yeah, I didn't really know anything about it, so I'm happy about that. I like going into movies when I'm not, either spoiled by myself or I don't really know the genre or maybe the theme of the actual movie. So yeah, I was excited about watching it.
Especially a movie like this, probably like no having no idea walking into it. It's probably such a not a mind fuck, but you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? But like you're intrigued. At least I hope you were.
For
Well,
me, uh-oh.
We'll see.
For me, this is a movie I tried to watch maybe 5 years ago. Um, and I definitely wasn't paying attention and I turned it off. I don't know how long into it, but watching it again, I realized like not only did I not know what was going on from the beginning, like I don't remember anything about it. Maybe the opening monologue from him when he's telling like that he calls himself the dude and all that kind of stuff. So to me, it still felt like a fresh watch. Um, I don't have too many people in my life that like swear by this movie. Definitely people that have watched it and enjoyed it, but definitely knowing all of the clout it has in pop culture and like you said, Ryan's a lot of people's favorite films. cult classic. But outside of that, there was a couple quotes that I knew from it. So again, cool to get the context on some of those things. But yeah, just went in blind, and I'll save my review for later on.
Nice. Yeah. It's yeah. I'm very, very, very curious what you guys thought because I was watching it last night and I'm just like, man, like I've seen it, I don't know how many times. I feel like watching it for the first time, it's I don't know. I don't know if you guys liked it. I'm very curious. So speaking of that, uh overall impressions, do either one of you want to go first or would you like me to go first?
Why don't you go first?
All right. So, like I said, I think on first watch, it's definitely like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this a cult classic? And on subsequent watches, you realize how many things are, how do I want to phrase this? Are connected to each other. And that's not really how I want to say it, but like stuff that gets said in the beginning or shown in the beginning gets shown again or is mentioned again, or one of the characters says it again, or it's in a dream sequence or something. And I feel like once you kind of realize that and don't focus so much on like the plot, because the plot is fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, but like it's stupid. It's a detective story with a bunch of absolute buffoons on all sides. Everyone is stupid and nobody knows what's going on. But, the dude, just like probably everything else in his life, he just kind of sort of fumbles through it and sort of succeeds, I guess. I mean, yes or no. I mean, we could get into that later. And as you kind of notice these things and also like I guess remember the characters from previous viewings, I think things are so much funnier. Whereas maybe on the first viewing, you're kind of like, all right, like, yeah, that part was like kind of funny. But whatever. Um, I don't know. I think it's one of the most like tightly written movies. And I don't mean the story because the story is all over the place. But like as far as dialogue is concerned, I think it's like almost every line is something, is a possible joke, is a possible foreshadowing, is a possible callback, is something. And I read something quick and then I'll let you guys go is um I guess Jeff Bridges and John Goodman were talking about, reshoots and like improvising and, things basically going off script. And John Goodman, who's worked with the Coen brothers previously, was kind of just like, nah, man. And I read that like the script was like everything shown on film almost verbatim was in the script. So like there was very little improvisation except for how things were said and like the inflections and
Yeah.
like the little ums and uhs and things of that nature. But like all the mans, all the dudes, all the stuff that was said was actually in the script. So um I don't know. I'm sure I have plenty of other thoughts, but I'll let you guys go so I don't monopolize. Whoever wants to go first.
Rob, you want to go last?
Sure.
So for me, I thought, like I said, I went in with super low expectations. I was actually kind of bummed that this movie won. And again, I think part of that is just trying to be counter to what everybody loves. Like, I don't see from the outside what could be so great about this movie. Um, but the first hour of it, like, I was enthralled. Like, it was just so funny. Obviously, John Goodman is a fucking stud. He's just so good. I thought Jeff Bridges was awesome. The little character that um, Steve Buscemi plays, just the three of them as a unit is so good, and the way they play off each other is so good. I can definitely see why it's so famous from like Jeff Bridges being a cult of personality in this movie, like just being somebody that's lovable and goofy. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Like you said, yeah, I understand what you're saying about the dialogue. All the banter was so good in this movie. Julianne Moore, like I know I saw her name, but it didn't register until she came on screen. And just seeing all the people that were involved in this movie, It was just great. For me, I felt like the second half of the movie dragged a little bit. I don't know if I was tired, but I didn't enjoy the second half as much as I did the first half. But I did like, again, like we talked about last week, the putting the bow on everything and how everything lines up at the end. And like you said, Ryan, all those things that were mentioned in the first half of the film became relevant in the second half. I just, for me, I don't know why, but the ending or second half just didn't hit as hard as the first. But I definitely enjoyed it way more than I was expecting it to. Don't necessarily see why it's such a cult classic, but again, I thought it was a very good movie.
Fair. Robbie?
Yeah, like you, Benny, I was devastated that this won. I mean, my love for Baby Driver is, you know, I think people know that, and my love for Dazed and Confused as well. Um, but again, I know I said my hatred for Jeff Bridges, but I thought Jeff Bridges was awesome in this movie. Like I can't say enough about John Goodman, how great he was. I could have used more John Turturro. I thought his character was fucking awesome, even though he was in it for like maybe 8 to 9 seconds. And Phil, I mean, like I said, we talked about this previously, but it's so sad that Philip Seymour Hoffman's not here anymore because
I know.
he's just really amazing in everything he is. I loved him in this movie. Julianne Moore, I think's a great action. I loved her. Um, Love the way it was shot. Soundtrack, awesome. Bob Dylan, uh, CCR. I mean, say less with them. Uh, but I don't know, man. It just wasn't it for me. It just wasn't something I was into. Um, I thought it went again. I'm a nobody, but I thought it was kind of slow and choppy and kind of it just I don't know. 2 hours. It didn't need to be 2 hours. I just felt like it was all over the place. The story. There were parts where I did laugh and I did think it was funny, but I don't know. I'm not the type of person that's gonna go back and watch. You know, if I don't love a movie, I'm not gonna watch it over and over and over again
Yeah.
just to kind of pick up on things that I didn't catch the first time. I don't know. That's not something that I'm into or kind of enjoy. I got to watch a movie over and over again because I really love it the first time. But I understand what they were doing. I do love a nice little crime drama and you mix in a little comedy. But as far as, the hype around it and the cult classic, I don't know. I was disappointed in this movie. I wanted to like it. I went in with the clear mind, clear heart, can't lose, but I don't know. It just wasn't for me. And it was definitely didn't pass the phone check. I was checking my phone, checking the time, and I was kind of thankful when it ended.
Fair. Yeah. No, I can totally see, like I said, like why someone would not enjoy this. And I agree with you, even though I said, and I don't mean not enjoy, but like when I said like it gets better upon subsequent viewings, I agree with you, Robbie. Like I wouldn't either. Like if I didn't like a movie on first viewing, like I'm not watching it again. I'm not
Yeah, no,
wasting
no
two
way.
hours of my day or
Yeah.
my life to watch it because there's, good things that you pick up on. I feel like this is a movie that if you didn't watch it like around when it came out and maybe you weren't kind of like a counterculture stoner type of kid or like something along those lines, like you just, not that you don't get it, but like you don't fit into that like cult love of it. And most cult classics, quote unquote, are kind of like that. Like they're not super accessible movies typically. Um, and I think a lot of them just fit in with this niche market and people fucking love it. But like everyone on the outside is kind of just like, all right, I don't get it, but okay. Like I'm glad you have
Cool.
something you like. Yeah.
Yeah. I think to
Well,
me, like the thing that stood out the most was just how progressively shittier it gets for the dude. Like
Yeah.
it's always something. And like, one of my favorite moments was him just getting so fed up that he nails the
Yeah.
the the board to the floor so no one can open the door. And then within 2 seconds, somebody pulls open the door, so it's just his whole plight and like how as laid back as he is, how progressively shitty things get for him, even though he's just trying to like, dude, this is not, I don't care, man. Like, I just want to go the easy way through all of this. But no matter what, between that, his day or week keeps getting worse and worse, and Walter's just like spiral into just like continually pulling him down. That was like my favorite dynamic of the whole movie. And I wonder too, I asked me after the movie ended, like, did it hit a little different because you're not from, but you lived in LA for so long? And I think that helped me a little bit to like kind of understand the people in LA, and like seeing the Ralphs that he was in, and like, just that whole vibe of LA definitely was added to it for me.
Fair. Robbie, were you going to say something before?
I was, but I forgot.
All right, that's
I
fair.
forgot I was going to say. Um, yeah, the acting definitely saved this movie for me. I mean, there's great performance all around. Jeff Bridges obviously carries this movie, and he was great in it. Um, one of my favorite scenes was when he was just I don't know where he was coming from, but he took the taxi home, and the
Yeah.
guy was just playing the Eagles, and he just didn't want to didn't want to hear the Eagles because he hates the Eagles, and it just kicked him out. It just added to the shit that was happening to him in the entire movie.
Yep.
So I thought that was awesome. Man just wanted to relax a couple of times and just enjoy himself. And every time he tried to fucking do that, somebody was barging into his house.
Yeah, he just wanted to bowl.
That's it.
I feel like the end shows that like he's all his bullshit's behind him. I mean, one of his good friends, even though he barely speaks to him, at least on screen, Donnie dies, and he's just like doesn't give a shit. He's happy. He's fucking bowling and like
Yeah.
hanging out, and no one's bothering him. That's all he wants.
I think Ryan, you guys both mentioned Philip Seymour Hoffman. Is it just me, or like every movie he's in, the first like 2 minutes you see whatever character he's playing in the movie, you're like, I don't know about this one for him. But then like by the end, you're just like, oh, I fucking love that character. He's so good in it. I don't know if it's just me backlogging all of the other things he's done and how much I love them. But I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this character yet. But like I said, by the end, I'm like all in on the character. He's just so good.
Yeah. I agree with that. The first character that popped into my head was a movie that you haven't seen, and it's just like he comes on screen, you're like, look at this dork, and then
Yeah.
by the end, you're like, fantastic, bravo, again, 10 stars. Um, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk more about it, but should we do some plum ratings?
Let's do some plums.
All right. Uh, who wants to go
Robbie.
first?
Robbie.
All right. I really want to bash this movie, trash this movie. I never want to see this movie again. Um, I'll go to my grave not watch this movie again. And I'm not bashing it. Listen, I'm like I said, I'm not Coen Brothers geniuses, and I'm just a bozo. Um, as far as plum ratings, I'm not going to go in the sixes because this movie doesn't deserve a six. Um, it's again, I love the way it's directed, the soundtrack, and the performances in here. Really, like I said before, saved this movie for me. Um, it just didn't hit for me, it just didn't captivate me. The story, it just wasn't. I don't know. The story wasn't a story that I like, and I didn't think it was put together properly. So I'm gonna go to 7.5. Uh, yeah, I didn't want to. Like I said, I don't want to give it in the sixes because, like I said, it doesn't deserve that. But it wasn't my favorite, and probably one of the least favorite movies I've watched so far in this podcast.
Fair.
For me, this is another one that I struggled with giving a rating to. I almost feel like the story, well, obviously it's important. It wasn't, I don't know, it took a backseat to everything else. The dialogue, the relationships, the characters, um, the directing, all that kind of stuff. Like the story was just kind of there, and it is what it is. It's everything else I got out from the movie. So it almost felt like, and again, I mentioned this too, is like a Seinfeld episode where like at the end of the day, what happened? Nothing. But like
Nothing.
it was still like I enjoyed the ride. So I'm not going sevens, I'm not going nines. I put it like 8.2 for me. Good. And like even hearing what Ryan said, I liked it enough that I'm kind of interested now to watch it again to kind of maybe like read up on it and then watch again and pick up on all those things that I probably missed. But I definitely understood some of the, like you said, Ryan, the quotes that came back in the end. Someone said something, but somebody said the same thing later on in the movie. So based on what you're saying, I definitely want to read about it and then maybe watch it again, hopefully kind of soon, so I don't lose that my first impression of it. Like everything, I still can kind of pick up on things, but yeah, I'll go with that for my score and say that I liked it.
Nice.
But let me ask a question. But
Please.
so why, like, what I don't get is, all right, you have one shot to make a good movie, and this movie, people love this movie, they get it. Why do a movie? Let's say somebody makes a movie too, where, oh, you didn't get everything the first time, you have to watch it again. So why make that kind of movie if you only get one shot to get everybody engaged in it? Why do I have to watch it again to pick up everything? So I'm not trying to be like a certain way, but like it's just a serious question. Like I want to get you guys' opinion. So like, why do you think that is?
Ryan, I'll let you go second, but I'll give you my uneducated opinion on it. Maybe Ryan
Please.
can expound on it. For me, what would bring me back, and again, it's what I think made this movie so strong, was the characters and the interactions, and it's like the buddiness to the movie. That's what I liked about it, and I really honestly would go back and watch it again for, honestly, like Walter. Like that character was just so good, and like all the things he said were so funny. I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, Robbie, where you kind of want it to be something like Knives Out, maybe, where no matter what you get out of the first viewing of it, it's a story and it's complete and it's, beginning to end, and you understand what happened, and not something like this where maybe there are, like you said, you're only going to watch it once potentially. So why do that? Maybe that's something that I would look for a little bit too. But for me, the performance were just so strong. Like that's what would bring me back to it personally. And then I'm surprised the second time I watch it.
Mhm.
What do you think, Ryan?
No, I agree, and I think more in an overall or generic or general, I should say, like thought about what you're saying, Robbie, is I think whether it's movies, music, art, like whatever creative medium the artists, and in this case the Coen brothers, are creating something in, um I don't like, not all things are palatable for all people. But there's definitely, like, think about an album that the first time you listened to it, you were like, eh, but then the second or third time you were like, all right, I get it. Like this is good. But I totally agree with you, Robbie, where you're saying, like, why would I spend 2 hours watching this movie that I didn't really enjoy? Like that seems like a waste of time. So like I get it from kind of both perspectives, where it's like, sometimes to appreciate certain art, you have to, like, ingest it a number of times. But I wouldn't fault you for not trying. And not everything's for everyone. Um, but I mean, that's a great question. I don't really have like a great answer for it. That's just kind of my thoughts as um and I was trying to think, like, what did I think of this movie when I first watched it? I was probably high, so I probably liked it.
Yeah, like the characters. But that's
Yeah,
what I think too. Like I don't know if necessarily that was their thought making this movie. Like, oh, you're gonna have to watch it a couple times. Maybe. I don't know how they
I don't
think,
know. Yeah,
but maybe, it's just you find something to latch on to, I
right.
guess. And that's what makes you watch it again, or you say, oh, you know what, let me give that another chance. I'm hearing all these people talk about it. I watched it once. Maybe I missed something, and then you go back and you like it again. But you're totally within your right to say, all right, I saw it, didn't really do it for me, I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah. I think what helped me want to watch it multiple times back, when I was younger, was for, like, a lot of other things where my friends saw it and people were like quoting like scenes from it or talking about scenes or whatever. And that made me kind of like want to watch it again. And then, we just, especially a couple of us, like really just loved it, and we would quote it at each other. And then there was a number of times we did a thing where every time the dude has a White Russian, we had a White Russian. And by the way, it's 9 White Russians, so you can
Ay.
imagine how
Jeez.
rough that got.
That's not good for
No,
the old
digestion.
digestive tract.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever made it to the full 9, but
Oh God.
um, yeah, Robbie, you know what? I don't really have a great answer. I wish I did, but that was what my head went to, is just like some art is made, by the artist, whether everyone appreciates it or not, I think is pretty, I don't know, commonly understood, is like not everyone's gonna like this, whatever this
Mm.
is. I don't know, but I'm definitely not faulting you for not wanting to watch it again. If I saw this for the first time now, I might be in the same boat as you. Like I might be like, all right, like there was some funny parts, but like the story was not great. So I get it. But anyway, so you guys give your scores. My score, speaking of 9 White Russians, is I'm gonna give the Big Lebowski a 9.0.
Okay.
I kind of struggled with this plum rating because similar to a couple other movies we've watched, like if you asked me this when I was, I don't know, 20 or whatever, I probably would have said a 10 because I loved it. I fucking loved this movie. I watched it so many times. Fun fact, one of the biggest fans of this movie, Big Pappy, fucking loves this
Oh,
movie.
really?
Loves it. And we'll talk about it, like just random things here, like the dude, like just random quotes from it and stuff like that. Um, but I don't know what happens, but I definitely just I like it a little less. Maybe because I'm not drunk or high watching it. I don't know.
I wonder too, like, and I don't know what Coen Brothers movies I've seen besides No Country for Old Men. 'Cause I don't really know their filmography, but I'm kind of interested to watch more to kind of see where this fits in like their style and
Yeah,
like how they tell a story. And then I think maybe I'd have a little bit better appreciation for it.
it's possible.
Um, so that's something that I kind of want to take a look at too, because I think that would maybe give it some context. Like, is this their first movie? Is this somewhere in the middle? Is it,
Mm,
I don't know.
kind of
So
early middle. Their first movie is Blood Simple, and then they did a couple other movies: Raising Arizona, Hudsucker Proxy, Barton Fink, and then I think this one, oh no, Fargo maybe was before this. I don't know, but Fargo probably should be the next Coen Brothers movies that we watch, because that's, I mean, I think you guys will definitely like that one, but
mm,
I don't know. All right. Should we do favorite or least favorite characters first, unless anyone has anything else?
No, I'm
let's go.
gonna fucking murder this cricket though. I killed 2 crickets last night and they came back.
I don't
Those
hear it this time.
fucks. Yeah, I don't hear it.
That's good then, but jeez, and crow.
I found one yesterday in my fucking living room. I almost burned the house down.
Yeah, I wish I had like one of them DiCaprio blowtorches in Once Upon a Time in
uh
please. I just fucking go to town. I'd burn this whole apartment down.
yeah. Um so in honor of the crickets, let's do least favorite characters first, because they're my least favorite animal right now.
Oh God, I
Um
hate them.
yeah. Does anyone want to go first?
I can go first.
All right, please.
My least favorite character is what's her name? Tara Reid. She stinks. She's always
Oh,
stunk.
good choice.
She's never been good in anything she's ever been in. She's the worst. I don't know why she actually made money and as an actress, because she's not good at all. Bunny Lebowski, you're the worst character. Worse than Tiny Lester. We found somebody I hate more. Um,
Wow.
so Tiny Lester, you're off my Mount Rushmore of terrible actors, because Bonnie Lebowski. I mean, I think they could. Again, I'm not bashing anybody, but you isn't there like screen tests? Isn't there like casting directors where it's like, maybe Tara Reid's not really gonna hit this one. Maybe she can't even sing along to the Elvis Presley in the car driving. Like, wouldn't you want somebody that's kind of on key with that? Maybe that's what they didn't want, but couldn't we get somebody that was driving and really was into Elvis instead of Bunny with the green toes? I was disappointed that when they revealed that she had all her 10 toes, I was hoping that there was more missing because I couldn't stand to see her on the screen. So yeah, Bunny Lebowski. There could have been so many more. I would have took Paris Hilton if she was popping back then. I mean, I'm sure she's a better actress than Tara Reid if we're gonna do that. So yeah, Bunny Lebowski. I mean, thank God I never have to watch you on this film again because you were the worst.
I'll go
Um,
next.
Go ahead.
It was hard, honestly. I thought everybody was casted so well, and that includes Sarah Reed for me. Like, yeah, she sucks, but her character's supposed to suck, and so that's kind of where I'll go with my pick because it's somebody that was supposed to suck, and he did. But I enjoy the character, but fuck him, and that's the Big Lebowski. He was such a douche. Just that whole, the whole speech that he gives the dude, and that's where for me, like, I really, you know, fully put my weight behind the dude and like started rooting for him was just the dressing down that he got. And then it turns out that he's probably a bigger scumbag than the dude is, a bigger bum. So fuck him. Good acting performance, but fuck you as a person.
Nice. I actually have there's three people that I was gonna see if any of you guys named them. I'll give maybe the other two Ani mentions, but I'm gonna go with little Larry Sellers, that fuck stonewalling, John Goodman, and Jeff Bridges, just just not answering them at all. I still want to know how his fucking homework got in the car. Um, but that scene has led to the best dubbing of all time of
Okay.
any movie because what John Goodman says or Walter Sobchak says is this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. What it's dubbed to on subsequent viewings on non-cable channels is this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. Yeah,
That is so stupid.
it's
That's
so
so
bad
dumb.
but so good.
I love it.
But yeah, fuck you, Larry. I don't know what your role was in the dude's car getting stolen, but I don't like you, and I don't like you stonewalling my boys. Um, do you guys have any Ani mentions?
No, I really think that, like I said, I enjoyed everybody in their roles. I thought everybody played their role pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, even Larry, like anybody, I agree with you. Like
Yeah.
everyone, even the assholes were good.
Yeah.
Like my Ani mentions would be Jackie Treehorn, what a fucking scumbag, and the Malibu police chief throwing his coffee mug at big the dude.
That was so
That's not
funny
nice.
Stay
when
out
that
of
mug hit
Malibu,
him.
Lebowski.
My little beach town.
Is that Benny as our chief California expert? Is that really what Malibu is like?
Oh yeah, big time. I've
Yeah.
seen that guy roaming the streets many times.
Main
Stay out of
streets in
Malibu,
Malibu.
deadbeat.
All right, well, who's your
Um,
favorite, Ryan?
Man, this one's really hard because there's two really good choices. Um, and there's a couple of also really good choices. I don't think I'm gonna steal Robbie's. I might steal Benny's, but I'm gonna just go. I think I'm gonna go all chalk and just say the dude, El
Damn.
Duderino, the duder, his dudeness. If you're not into the whole brevity thing, um, so I'll let you guys pick, but there's so many good characters in this film. Um, that's kind of why I went with him. But just everything about him, the jellies are fucking a revelation. The fact that he's wearing jellies, and
Yeah.
those are Jeff Bridges jellies.
Really?
Yeah, and all his clothes were gotten from local, thrift stores. his dress, his general attitude, him writing a check for 63 cents at Ralph's for post. Not only was he writing a check for 60 something cents, he was post dating it a year in the future.
I didn't even notice that.
And then like interweaving, so many other things. And it's funny, like I said at the top, all these people are just absolute idiots, just buffoons. And like, what do buffoons do? They parrot things. And when someone says something in a Big Lebowski to the dude, not Big Lebowski, to the dude, he just repeats it later on in the film. And
Yeah.
like half the time it doesn't like really fit. Like when he throws out the parlance of our times that he heard from Maud,
Yeah.
it doesn't really fit,
Yeah. Or when he says the dude abides at the end, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, what does he abide?
Bod what? The stranger? The dude. Um, and there's more, but I'll let you guys go, and then we can talk about kind of all the characters.
I have a couple. So, Robbie, why don't you go next? Because if you don't pick my person, I'll take it, but I'm pretty sure it's a steal if I go. So you can go ahead, Rob.
Um, yes, my favorite character was Jesus Quintana.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to take your character, Ben. I mean, I can take John Goodman. I think John Goodman was the best thing of this movie, but I'll save it for somebody who enjoyed this movie. So, yeah, I just thought when he burst onto the scene, I mean, that fucking outfit was fantastic. That purple outfit that he had on, him tongue kissing the bowling ball. I wanted more of him. I thought, I mean, but I get it. What can you really do? He's just a bowler in the bowling league. But I was hoping that he would come in and join him. But even when he freaked out at him for a little bit for like 2 minutes yelling at the dude and Walter, I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I guess I could pick him. Maybe I should pick somebody else, but I'll sweep around for Ani Menches.
Even though he's
Yeah.
a pederast.
Yeah, but he looks so good in that outfit.
I mean, my favorite part maybe of the outfit was the fucking purple Coke nail.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
that.
I wanted so badly that final showdown for for the bowling league between the
Yep.
two of them. That was the one thing I was missing from this movie. Yeah, I mean, you're leaving chalk on the board for me, so I'm going to take it. But I definitely have a couple Ani mentions. But I'm going to go with John Goodman as Walter Sobchak. He's just, dude, I can't say enough, man. I fucking love Jeff Bridges in this movie, and I really didn't think that anybody could top it, but John Goodman is just off the rails the whole entire movie, just tying everything into Vietnam. I didn't even want to mention my favorite scene right now because I'm pretty sure it'll be on the board for me later. But even to the point at the end of the movie where he's done all this stupid shit, and even when he takes out the ashes and it goes all over the dude, like and just his reaction and like brushing his beard off, he was so good, man. Anything John Goodman is in, I'm gonna give a chance. He's just, I don't know what it is about him. I guess he's just a fantastic actor, but I'm like drawn to whatever he does. I think he's great.
Definitely got some kind of like magnetism or something.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yeah,
charisma.
he
The
hosted
Riz.
I think he hosted like SNL like maybe like 13 times, something like that. So he's definitely
Really?
got the comedic chops.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's good. I mean, all great choices, but like we said, there's so many good characters. Robbie, do you have any Ani mentions?
Yeah, I mean Philip Seymour Hoffman as who Brandt. I
Yeah,
thought
of
he was
course.
thought he was great in this movie. Every time I saw him on a scene, I perked up because he just he just brings it in every movie he's in, and I just thought it was a great performance, even when he did that when they first met Bunny Lebowski, and he's asking to blow on her to blow on her toes, and then she talking about she's gonna give him fellatio, and the way he starts laughing, and his nose is just flaring out every time he laughs. I was dying laughing at that. He's so good, man. I mean,
If Brant wants to watch, he's got to give me 100.
yeah. So yeah, I got to give my honorary mention to the God, to go rest in power to the King, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
My Ani Mensch is gotta be, and she was gonna be my favorite character if Robbie took John Goodman. but Moore as Maud, like
Of course.
there's to me there's something about, and it's when I was telling you guys I was watching a little bit of the Pick of Destiny the other day. There's something to me when like a very serious actor goes all in on a fucking stupid movie in a stupid role and just like is all in. That just I love that. So her in this movie is just so good. The accent, the calisthenics when she's trying to get pregnant, it's just everything. Like she was all in, and I appreciated that about her. And she was, like I said, it was shocking to me when, like I said, I saw the name, but until you see the person on the screen and the situation they're in, it didn't really click. But I loved her in this movie. I thought she was great.
Yeah, strong agree. She was awesome. I was gonna throw her out if no one else did. But yeah, just because even she's such a like she's a straight character, meaning she's not like supposed to be funny, but like a lot of the things she says are funny to me. Like when she's like, "I'll give you 100,000 clams," or
Yeah,
whatever you call
bones.
it, which can buy any number of rugs that don't have sentimental value to me.
Yeah, she's just so good.
And that's what, like, when I was mentioning before, like some of the things that aren't funny on first viewing get funny like after you watch it a couple times. Those are the types of things that I'm talking about, where it's just like I can't think of his fucking name, but when he first meets Maud and that fucking guy is sitting in the chair just laughing. When I remember first watching that, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I fucking hate that guy. But now every time I watch it, it just cracks me up that he's just fucking laughing. And the dude is just like, who the fuck is this guy?
Just a sycophant sitting there.
Oh my God. Um, I mean, a couple Ani mentions for me. I mean, um, all the all the nihilists,
Yeah.
Uli and Flea and fucking Amy Man, who lost a toe, and just the stuff they said is so cracks me up. So I fuck your ass, I fuck you in your ass, and like, give us the money, Lebowski. Just the way they say things and how they're so just bumbling idiots is just so funny. Them and the fucking Treehorn thugs were hilarious too. Um and all those scenes just like talking about it again now, I'm just like, man, it's so fucking good. Maybe I should give it higher than a 9, but I'm gonna stick at 9 because I'm a man of integrity. Trying to think any other characters that I really love. Donnie, of course, Steve Buscemi. He's a kind of a minor character, but his character is fantastic. Like I think you mentioned it earlier, Benny. The way that they interact a lot of, especially when it's the three of them together, is how, and you don't see this in movies often, but it's how actual like a group of people would talk, where maybe two people are dominating the conversation and a third person comes in and like tries to, and then
I'm the
Walter just shut
walrus.
the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of
I'm
your
the
element.
walrus.
I'm
I'm
the
the walrus.
walrus. Yeah. Stuff like that. Like clearly he's not the dominant force in the group, but yeah, he's trying to like, be in with them. And then of course, sad to see him go at the end. But I don't know if you noticed, he bowled a strike every single time until just before he died. He did not bowl a strike. It's a
Oh,
little
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing there. Yeah. Um,
For me, my other Monty Mensch was in line with yours, Ryan, but it is Uli the because he's a Seinfeld alum, and I don't know, man, just something about him and his presence just makes me
it's
laugh.
funny.
And I,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was so happy to see him in this movie. So yeah, great for me.
I want to get that album by Autobahn.
Euro trash,
Yeah.
Euro pop trash.
Yeah. Clearly not a joke, but like they're kind of honoring, I guess, Kraftwerk. I don't know if you ever heard them, but they're like a
Yeah.
fairly famous like Euro pop techno band or whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know if we missed any characters, but so many good ones. Even fucking Jesus's like little counterpart just makes me laugh. Like just standing there. Everybody. The fucking landlord.
Oh
Uh
God, I was gonna bring him
my
up in my
God.
least favorite characters. He's such a
So funny. What a dork. but so funny. This fucking interpretive dance. And then that whole scene cracks me up. It's near the In-N-Out burger. Couple beers, few laughs, some burgers. All right, I'll stop. Um, should we do favorite scene or least favorite?
Let's go least favorite.
Oh, all right. Does anyone want to go first?
Why don't you go first?
All right. My least favorite scene, I think, and I hope I'm not. No, you know what? I don't want to pick that one. I'm gonna change my mind. My least favorite scene. Fuck no, I like that scene too. Damn it. All right, I'll go to the original, and I'm sorry if I'm stealing anyone, but basically is Bunny driving in the car because, like Robbie said, I understand that they probably did that on purpose, that she's an idiot. But what pisses me off so much every time I watch it is that she doesn't snap to the beat. It just enrages me that that is happening. Um, Again, I'm sure, like Robbie, you said, like some of these directors, like, do they notice? Like, is this on purpose? Like, do you know? I forget what the last one we were talking about. It's like maybe Steven Spielberg. Like, did you cast this person and you let them do this in your movie, and you didn't? Is this purposeful? I don't know, but
I feel like that's gotta be on
it
purpose,
has
like
to
just
be.
to make you hate her so much.
I guess. I don't know, but that's the snapping specifically just makes me lose it every time.
Go ahead, Robbie. I want you to go in on somebody or something right
Oh
now.
man.
It's good. It's going to be that scene as well.
All
I don't
right,
have any
that's
other
fair.
pick because that was just so annoying to me. How she wasn't on beat with the song the entire time she was driving. It wanted to shove my skull through the television, and because it just I don't know. Like I said, I just there's so- there's so many actors that could have played this part, and I get what they're trying to do, but there's so many good actresses that could play that part and be that type of person that you don't need Tara Reid to come in there and shit all over the scene. I don't know. I just hated the scene. I was like, what is she doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's everything I've seen from Tara Reid. She's just not a good actress. And I wanted somebody better to play that part and could have played, a bumbling idiot better than her. I didn't think she was being herself. I think she was playing Tara Reid
Playing it
as
straight.
Bunny Lebowski. Yeah, I think she was playing it straight.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
She
Brian
thought
said,
she was the main character of the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
the snapping off beat and the singing off beat really drove
Oh,
me insane. So that's my least favorite move, you know, part of this movie. I don't get
uh,
it. These Coen brothers, all these smart directors, like we were saying, Steven Spielberg, all these smart directors, all these cast, like I don't know. Maybe nobody came out for the part, and it was just maybe somebody knew Tara Reid, and they just wanted to give her a handout. I don't know.
I think that probably happens more often in Hollywood than we realize. Like, someone owes someone a favor, or maybe that was the best take out of 100, and they were just like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
I'm
Let's
done.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Robbie, would you rather have Tara Reid in that scene or Kate Hudson?
Oh, Kate Hudson, 100% Kate Hudson.
would you
Give me
rather
Kate.
have Tara Reid or Tiny Lister?
Oh, give me Tiny Lister.
Yeah,
Because he would definitely be able to snap and sing
on
on
time.
beat. Yeah, this person. I was hoping when I saw the car wreck that I would see Tara
Or-
Reid and then her head 30 yards away.
Supposedly Charlize Theron was in line to, well, not in line, but was heavily considered to be that.
I mean, that would have been a fucking amazing. I would have given this movie an 8.2.
Yeah. And I mean, we know she can play a dumb character. Benny, I know you saw Arrested.
Yeah, Mr. F.
Mr. F.
For me, my least favorite scene, I'm gonna go with the second dream sequence. It's
Okay.
just a little too long for me. I would, by the time that rolled around in the movie, I was like, not necessarily over it, but I was just like kind of waiting for the end of the movie to come through. So if it was maybe a little bit shorter, I would have been okay with it, but it was very long and not a lot in it for me. Like I get it, but not really. Like it was just a little all over the place. as opposed to the first dream sequence, which I thought was fucking funny. I don't know. It just hit better for me. So yeah, I go with the second dream sequence as my least favorite scene.
There. I feel like I'm trying to think now, other than maybe, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Twin Peaks, but other than that, I can't think of many dream sequences in movies that are often like really good. Like, I feel like they're always like super abstract, which I mean, I get it's a dream, but like, I don't know. I feel like they always like often don't fit in the movie properly. Now, I like these two dream sequences, but generally, I'm not a big fan of a dream sequence.
It's
I
not a
think
dream sequence. Sorry, Robbie. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'll remember this time.
It's not a dream sequence, but one that works for me, which is kind of like a dream sequence, is in the Pick of Destiny, and hopefully we get to that so you
All
guys
right,
know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, Robbie.
My like you said, Ryan, like even The Sopranos, there was
Yeah.
a dream sequence that I like. I don't even know how many episodes it was, but I remember even in the moment just hating it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like the low light of the series. I don't know, it didn't bring any value to the series or the season or the episode. I just wound up being angry. Not angry, but I wound up like in the moment being like, this does not fit anything, and I don't like this.
Right. And like I think the main reason why I did actually like especially the second dream sequence, even though you didn't love it, Benny, was everything in it was from previous things. Like
Yeah.
even like the floor was from a previous scene, or just like his costume was from fucking log jamming. I'm the expert to fix the cable.
Yeah, I won't tell you with how the story goes from here. He fixes the
He
cable.
fixes the cable. Yeah, what a line. What a fantastic
That
line.
was funny. That was
Yeah.
funny.
Um Allegedly the women that were the like had the pin decorations on them purposefully added a lot of unnecessary pubic hair under, so that
Really?
when Jeff Bridges was going under, it was just like fucking crazy bushes.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Uh,
Um so any other least favorite scenes?
no, for me,
AJ?
like I said, everything kind of hit. It
Mm,
was worth the time.
yeah. Even log jamming?
Loved log jamming. I was looking
Loved
it
it.
up on Google after.
Yeah, oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I wanted to see how we fix the cable.
I know, right? Did they get to watch the big game? Who knows? Tune into Log Jamming too. Find out. All right, so let's do favorite scene. Who just went last?
Me.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll go with there's a few that I can go with between these characters, but I'll go with the scene at the diner when the dude and Walter are sitting at the counter
Yeah.
and just how dug in Walter gets about like being able to say whatever he wants and talking about the Supreme Court and the dude just leaving and then Walter's just sitting there drinking the coffee. He's like, I'm just gonna finish my coffee.
Finish
And
my
like no one
coffee.
gives a fuck. Everyone's like, okay, dude, like drink your fucking coffee. And it just reminds me of like how some people are now with like they get so dug in on something and make it such a fucking big deal, and everyone else around him is just trying to get through the rest of their day and like
Yeah.
doesn't want to deal with it. But just the like I said, man, there's so many scenes between the two of them or the three of them that I probably could have picked here, but for some reason that one just had me LOL and I was loving it, so I'll go with that one just so I can give Walter some love on him trying to, especially when he's like, the Supreme Court decided that and the dude just like, this isn't an issue of freedom of speech, man.
Yeah.
So I just love that scene.
Robbie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the when they're at the I guess the funeral home, that scene towards the end. I thought that was really funny. I don't know what Walter says, or
Just
maybe it
because
was
we're
a duty.
bereaved doesn't mean we're saps.
And then like can we can we just borrow? Can we just rent the urn and like bring it back? And then you see them go out with the Maxwell House coffee can, and then like you said, Walter just making it about Vietnam, and the dude's like just freaking out about it and screaming at him while he's got fucking Donnie's ashes in his face. I thought that was so funny too, because he's dropping the ashes and they're just flying in the dude's face, and the dude's just sitting there and just taking it, and he doesn't care that the ashes are in his face. He cares more that Walter wouldn't shut the fuck up about Vietnam and making it about himself. So I had a lot of LOLs in that scene. I thought it was a great scene.
That was a funny scene. It is our most affordable receptacle. You gonna
Is there a
put this
Ralph's
on
by
credit? I picking a favorite scene here is really difficult. There's so many, and again, it's like some of the other movies we've reviewed where it's just like we could just talk about like scene by scene, like and how much we either love or hate that specific scene. But I think I'm gonna go with the scene where the dude is in his bath with all the candles and he's got the little roach that he's puffing on, and the cop calls and he's like, "We found your car," and he's just like, "Ah, far out," and he's so fucking happy, and then fucking Autobahn shows up with a fucking otter, or no, a ferret,
A marmot.
a marmot. Yeah, he's talked to mine, but it just like from like the highest of highs to the lowest of lowest. Shout out Richie. Like just throws the fucking ferret in and telling him that we going to cut off your Johnson. And then the scene right after is so funny because they're at the bowling alley, and I think Walter says like, or one of them says something about that can't be legal to have the fucking marmot. Like of all the things,
He's like, oh, what do you say? I'm not the fucking
I'm
range
not.
park
What are you, a
rangers.
park ranger now? So funny. But I
Oh
mean,
man.
to be honest, like Ani Mensch's out the fucking ass. Like even that scene reminds me of the first scene where the Jackie Treehorn's dogs piss on his rug, and he's just like, "Fucking married? Do I have a ring? The toilet seat's up." Like so many good lines. The golfer. Oh, I want to ask you about a scene because it is clearly a meme slash popular GIF. Um, Walter with the gun, and he says, "Does anyone care about the fucking rules?" Did you notice? Did you pick that out, Benny?
Yeah. That I mean, obviously, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
Oh,
Like,
so good.
just so many like things where you have the full context for now.
Yep.
I think one of my auntie mentions though. I don't know if it's the first bowling scene or maybe it's the second, but I think it's the first. Is when the dude's telling the story and he calls the guy the Chinaman,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
That is not the
Donnie,
preferred nomenclature.
yeah, Donnie's like feeding into it for a little bit, but then he's like, and by the way, I don't think Chinaman is the preferred nomenclature. We call them Asian Americans or whatever, and it's just so fucking good. Like I
What's
said,
funny
the
is then after he says that, he calls him that again.
yeah,
Walter does.
yeah,
So it's just like
yeah.
he says that, but then he doesn't care. Robbie, any Ani mentions for you?
Oh yeah, the end credits when the movie was over. That was my favorite scene. No, when he's pointing the gun at him, and he's like, then does anybody follow the rules? And he goes, "It's a league game, Smokey." He's fucking that was.
Am I
And
wrong?
then when
Am I wrong?
yeah, and then when Jesus shows up on the scene, he's like, "Are you ready to be fucked, man?" I thought that was fucking funny. Uh, what else? Um, when they go to, like we said, when they go to Larry's house, that was fucking
Yep.
hilarious. What they got the dad in that cryo. Who knows what he's
The
in? He's
iron
like,
lung.
he's like, you're killing your father, man. I thought that was fun. I mean, Walter just killed it in every scene. And when the cops go to the dude's apartment, I thought that was fun. That one white cop was so fucking stupid and dumb. That
Yeah.
was that was
Oh,
definitely.
separate incidents.
I guess that solves that one.
Yeah, right. I have your rug. Oh my god. The scene. it's not as funny, but then it becomes funny is when when the dude goes over and sees the Big Lebowski, and it's just like, and it's funny because by the end you realize how Big Lebowski's a fucking bum too. Maud's the one who has all controlling all the money, but like the first scene, he's like such a fucking smug prick to the to. Yes, yes, you told Brent. How does this fit into me? Like, what do you want me to do? Do I have to every time some miscreant desecrates a rug, I gotta pay for it? And then Bunny gets kidnapped, quote unquote, and he's hanging out by the fire. Grown men also cry.
You mind if I do it, Jay?
Yeah, and then the last one, Walter goes in and throws him off. Stay away from me, mister. Oh my god. And how Walter always like I don't know how many times he says it, but he's like, I didn't see men dying in the
In the
muck
muck.
to deal with this shit.
Face down in the muck.
Face down in the muck. I think I read something that there was intent to make it that Walter actually never went to Vietnam. Like this was all like stolen valor.
Oh man, I could so see that. It would be such a great. I love to damn uh, I can't believe you forgot this, but the whole when they go to drop off the money, just the
Oh,
conversation in the car,
with
and
the
then what
phone.
happened? Yeah, and he's like, just calm down. He's gonna call back, and he calls back in a second. It
Yeah.
just it's the dynamic between the two of them, man, is just unmatched. It was so fucking good.
So he rolls out of the fucking car. He's got an
The
Uzi.
gun.
Oh my god. So fucking funny. I'm trying to think if there's any other specific ones I want to call out. It's really, really, really short. But when he's listening to Credence in the out my back door and he's banging on the roof, and then he's got his fucking J and he's got a beer and he's just fucking loving life. And that's the fucking dude, man. Like I said, at the end, and he's just fucking pumped because no one's hassling him. Yeah, his friend died, but he's bowling and he just can do whatever the fuck he wants right now. And I mean, anything with Sam Elliott too. We didn't mention him once yet, but his voice, I love that voice. The
I love a man who enjoys a good sarsaparilla.
Sioux City Sarsaparilla. That's a good one. You have to cuss so much.
The fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah. Oh my god. Um. Yeah. I mean, again, like we could call out every scene. There's no need to. I really, I, I really, really, really love this movie. I gave it a 9, and I didn't go higher because I think like some of the movies that I like more that are rated better might not be funnier to me, but are better movies. Like Pulp Fiction, There Will Be Blood, Shawshank, stuff like that. But I really, really love this movie. It's probably a movie that I'll watch numerous times. Like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from Robbie. Robbie will never watch it again. I'll watch it several times at least.
Yeah, I feel like I'll watch it like once or twice more. And it's, I get that the story is not like great, but it's not supposed to be because it is a bunch of fucking idiots
Yeah, that's the
just like
point. But I get
being
it not liking it.
they're all idiots. Even the Big Lebowski's a fucking
Oh,
idiot. They're all
idiot.
fucking stupid and they're all just like slapsticking their way through this failed kidnapping slash embezzlement plot that at the end of the day, like I said, it's just what was it all for? It was fucking nothing. It was just this blip in all their lives, but
Oh,
just extremely quotable. And those moments were like I said, what would bring me back to it is just all that stupid shit that they all said to each other.
oh man. Well, that's just like your opinion, man. All right. Um, is there anything you guys could think of to make it better? Um, does anyone want to go first?
Robbie,
I don't
fix
have
the
anything.
movie.
I don't have
Fix the
anything to fix
movie.
the movie. Me not watching it would have been something that I could fix. That's all I got to say about that. I like a story that's neat. Um, and this wasn't neat to me. So Yeah, I don't know. I didn't laugh a lot. I really didn't. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything. I really don't. I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you think if it was like a little shorter and the story was a little more fleshed out or concise, that might have helped?
Yeah,
Maybe.
definitely could have been a little shorter. There's a lot of scenes that could have been cut from me. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't think that there was a lot of scenes that needed to be in this movie. Um, I don't know. Like the hallucination scene, I could have done without. I get
Mm-hmm.
it, but I mean, what was the point
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah.
Eh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just isn't. It wasn't my bag, baby.
That's fine. Understood. Um, Benny?
For me, yeah, just a little bit shorter. It didn't. I don't feel like it needed to be 2 hours. I don't know what I would cut, and I hate that that's like always my go-to answer when it comes to how would I make this movie better.
Right.
Because there's not anybody I would have casted differently. There's the story, like I said, but I almost appreciate how fucking stupid the story is, and it's not taking itself seriously, and it's just like a bunch of idiots bumbling their way through this movie. But I just maybe it was a long weekend for me, and I watched it at the end of the night on Sunday, so maybe I was just getting a little tired, but I wished it was a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Um, I don't really have anything. Maybe recast Tara Reid. That's all I can think of. Like again, I totally um understand what you guys are saying, especially Robbie, but like I personally love it. So I wouldn't really do much other than yeah, maybe just recast Tara Reid. Um, maybe we could recast Tara Reid with a young, strong Matt Damon. So let's play the game.
Who
Who do
do
I
I?
think I want, you fucking cocksuckers? Um,
uh, you want to go first, Ryan?
okay. Shit. I would cast a young, not preteen, not dancing machine, but young virile Matt Damon as oh my god. Tara Reid, fuck it, I'll take it. And she could offer to suck the dude's dick for $1,000, but it would be Matt Damon. Imagine that.
Oh
Imagine
boy.
it Matt Damon as Bunny Lebowski. Oh man, now that I'm saying it, I love it.
I
Give
need
me
a prequel. I need a sequel. I need a trilogy. Give me all of it.
give me
Uh,
give me log jamming with Matt Damon instead of Tara Reid. I would watch the shit out of that movie.
Give me a not so young,
Oh,
an informant, heavier Matt Damon as the Big Lebowski, because I
wow.
think he would have crushed that role. Just being an evil prick. We've seen him do it in so many movies. I think that would have got Robbie's interest level in this movie up. I think it would have gotten this movie Oscar buzz. I think it would have been a perfect launching point post Goodwill Hunting for Matt Damon. So yeah, give me Matt Damon as the Big Lebowski.
All right, Robbie.
Well, I mean, Ryan, you stole mine, but so I'm still gonna
Oh,
I'm still gonna go with it because I don't do nothing else.
that's fair.
So give me a young, lean, mean, six pack, oiled up,
Oh man.
way past his teenage years, mid-20s, Matt Damon as Honey Lebowski as the the young strapping stud muffin that goes on his kidnapping plot and replaces Tara Reid to shoot her off all the way to Pluto, which is not even a planet anymore. Just get her out of my screen and just replace her and have him be the one as a love interest and trying to, maybe suck off everybody for a couple of bucks. I mean, I would have been definitely more engaged if we had Matt Damon replace Tara Reid. So yeah, give me Matt Damon as the counterpart to Tara Reid's character in this movie.
Fair. I mean, just thinking about him all oiled up on that lounge chair.
Oh my God, please, they're
Come
like
on.
Talented Mr. Ripley all over again.
Um, is there anything else that you guys want to say about this film?
I do think I want to watch it again, if not just for the laughs, but like I mentioned earlier, but it's I enjoyed talking about it and to get someone's opinion that really did like it and not just have kind of like, oh, you got to watch that movie. Like, how have you not seen it? So it was cool talking about it to someone that liked it. And it was nice to get someone's viewpoint of someone that didn't like it. Cause I honestly kind of thought I was going to land on the side of Robbie and be like, this is overhyped. I don't get it. It's, people being tryhards trying to make something out of a movie that's not that great. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I liked getting both sides of the conversation.
I wonder if there's like science isn't the word, but like research into if there's any connective tissue between like cult classics. Like, is there some kind of common denominator that makes them popular in like an underground way or like popular with a niche market or whatever? Because I mean I love this movie, so I kind of understand the people that also love it, but like and the thing that pisses me real quick, a little rant. The thing that pisses me off about movies like this that are cult classics is people are like fucking gatekeepers about it and like dicks, where they're like Robbie, if you told a certain person that you were like, I didn't really like it, wasn't my thing, they'd be like, the fuck's wrong with you? It's perfect. It's the best movie ever, and this and that. And you're just like, dude, fucking chill out. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
attacking you personally. I just said I don't like this movie that you think is great. I
yeah.
whatever. Kind of going all over the place. But again, I'm gonna do some research. I want to see if there's been any theorizing as to what makes a cult classic. Like, why does that happen? Why do certain movies get that following, that fan base, and why do some not? Like, is it because they're truly shitty, or I don't know. I don't know. Oh, too artsy. Maybe it's. I have no idea. I'm gonna do some research. I'll report back next week.
I
Thank
feel like to me, it's kind of like what I said early on in the podcast, where to me, at least the cult classics that I can think of is like there's kind of like a cult of personality around one character.
Uh huh.
Like I think of Mallrats with
Right.
Brody,
Uh
where
huh.
like if you think Brody's cool, like then that's the coolest movie you've ever seen, or the
Right.
dude hitting with so many people. So to me, it might have something to do with that, where like there being this one character that everybody kind of gravitates towards. And it sorry to keep going, but I feel like too, maybe I just haven't heard people talk about this movie enough, but all I know from this movie is the dude, and I'm surprised with how much you don't hear about Walter.
Walter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like you said, he's the cult of personality that people
Yeah.
gravitate around towards. Like when they have these like um fan fests or like cons or whatever, everyone shows up in a bathrobe and fucking jellies and whatever because everyone loves the dude. But
Yeah.
I mean, Walter is just as he's not the star, but he's maybe better as a character. I don't know.
He's to me just a scene stealer.
Right.
Like where the dude is the center of every scene that he's in and steals it from everybody else.
Right.
Like somehow Walter ends up stealing the scene from him. So he's just so great.
Robbie, any thoughts on cult classics and such?
It's more along the lines of um like music acts for me as far as cult classics. Like I know people were like, oh, you have to listen to like Joy Division. Oh, Joy Division, Joy Division. So I listen to Joy Division. I'm like, these guys fucking stink. But, but that's my personal opinion. I just think a lot of cult classic like albums people say you have to listen to, and I've always been like, I don't get the appeal.
Right.
So I'd love to. I don't know, but like you said, I feel like you said, Ron, I feel like 95% of the people that like these cult classic movies want to think that they're smarter than everybody. And then if you like have an opinion about it, they shit on you because they don't like what they like.
Right.
Whereas like that's okay. But I feel like it's more along the lines with me with cult classic stuff with like albums and groups. I think I don't know. It's weird. I'd love to have a fucking 2 hour conversation about that stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't even know like what other cult classic movies are out there that I've seen. I don't know.
I agree. I also think there's something to be said too about like the personal or social dynamics of that person's group of friends, or like, did I discover this movie or album on my own? Did someone tell me to watch it because it's amazing? And then were my expectations really high, or they low going in, or like whatever? I don't know. There's so many factors that could make you like or not like something, whatever that something is, whether it's Big Lebowski or Joy Division. I don't know.
To me, what I'm really like happy about that I've been able to do so far with the movies that we watch is I hate when things get like not praised, but when the hype gets so big where you're like, how could it be that good?
Right.
It can't be that good. And I'll put off watching something for a long time, but I'm glad that we're getting around to a lot of those movies, and I'm glad that I'm able to kind of put that out of my head and just kind of try to take it for what it is.
Okay. Um, any other thoughts on this movie or otherwise?
I'll do it for me.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. I just want to say one last time how much I love this movie. I really thought about making a White Russian and having it on the show, but I forgot.
uh,
And shout out to my boy Jimmy. Him and I used to do that. That was the one we would have White Russians and watch Big Lebowski with. So
did you make it with the proper amount of half and half, or did you just do the dash like he did?
I didn't do half and half. I would do like milk or something. Like half and half's way too much for me. I would shit myself if I drank that much half and half.
I've never had a White Russian before.
Oh, I'll make you one. It's fucking delicious.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, if there's no other thoughts, thank you so much for listening. Let us know if we missed anything, or any thoughts on Big Lebowski or any of the other movies that we've watched, or any movies you'd like us to watch.
Yeah,
Send us
give
an
us
email.
some
Yeah.
give us some recommendations.
Yeah. Do we yeah, we need probably some recommendations. I think fairly soon we'll do some spooky season. It as they say, 'tis the season. Um, but yeah, let us know. Recommendations, thoughts, praise, hate, whatever. We'll take it all. ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. It's in the show notes. I can't make it easier, people. But thank you. We love you. Robbie, tell them good night.
Good night to Walt's dirty underwears.
Don't find a stranger in the Alps, please.
Sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you.
Good night.